I almost got arrested in my own office. Yeah, that happened. Because an HOA Karen decided she ran the world, and I was just some guy taking up space where she wanted to hold a private meeting. She storms in, points at the door like I'm her teenager breaking curfew, orders me out, and 2 minutes later she's on the phone with 911 pacing like she's calling in a SWAT raid. The punchline? The cops were about to learn something that flipped the whole script, and she had no idea the stage she'd built for herself. Let me back up a sec. Saturday morning, a clean 9 o'clock. Sky so clear the lake looked like it borrowed polishing wax from a car show. For months I'd been hearing the same thing from neighbors. You know what I mean. Fees up 40%, nothing getting fixed, pool tiles still cracked, lights still out, landscaping still theatrical about doing absolutely nothing. I finally thought, fine, I'll dig through the books myself. So I grab a coffee, drive to the Lake Ranch office, unlock the door with a key I was very much entitled to use, and spread out a stack of statements on the conference table. It's quiet, peaceful, that kind of quiet that lets your gut talk to you. Then, bam, car door, hard enough to rattle a window. Staccato heels across the lot. Trouble's approach has a rhythm. She blows through the door like an action hero who missed her mark. Daphne Cole, the HOA president, power suit pressed like it owed her rent, bun tight enough to tune a radio, eyes hot enough to sear steak. You need to leave. Now. No hello. No context, just raw command. I'm still holding my cup. I'm reviewing paperwork. Won't bother anyone. Not good enough. This is HOA property, she says, hitting president like a title makes her bulletproof. I keep the tone calm. Calm spooks bullies. I've got every right to be here. Gasoline on coals. She sputters, color blooming from pink to fire engine. Based on what? You think money gives you special privileges. She's barking about rules and authority like she's auditioning for a courtroom drama, and I can see she thinks this is the part where I flinch. Ma'am, I say, friendly as a Sunday. There's a little confusion about who has authority here. That's when she goes volcanic. 5 minutes, or I call the police. I nod, sip, and say, that's your choice. She dials with shaking fingers and delivers a performance for the dispatcher, so dramatic I thought I should pass a hat for tips. Trespasser. Refuses to leave. Community property. The whole monologue. Meanwhile, I'm organizing receipts and watching a parade of strangers step in with pink and blue balloons. Baby shower folks. Take one look at Daphne whisper yelling and do a perfect about face back to their cars. $200, maybe $300 of bookings, just gone. Instant karma is loud when it squeals out of a parking lot. Sirens. My pulse ticks up a notch because it's sirens, that's human, but I'm steady. 2 officers walk in. Older one with the eyes of someone who's seen all 7 seasons of human nonsense. Younger one ready to de-escalate whatever neighbor drama this is. Daphne sprints to them. He's trespassing. I'm the president. I have full authority. She's pointing at me through the glass like I'm wiring detonators. The older officer approaches. Professional, respectful. Sir, ID please. I hand it over. No attitude. Then slide a folder across the table. Signatures, dates, county stamps, a tidy little stack of truth. He reads, checks. Double checks. His face changes. Ma'am, he says to Daphne, voice suddenly careful. According to these documents, this gentleman owns the building. He pauses. In fact, his company owns the entire complex. Silence. Then the 5-stage fireworks show goes off behind her eyes. Denial, confusion, panic, bargaining, fury, 30 seconds flat. This can't be real. The papers are fake. I'm the president, she stammers, as the officer explains misuse of emergency services and false reports. Look, I could have demanded a citation, pressed charges, done the full revenge tour. But that's not the kind of win that lasts. No harm done, I tell the officers. Just a misunderstanding. They give her a warning and head out for real work. Daphne throws me a look that could strip paint and screeches away, and I'm there thinking, she is way too desperate to keep me out of this room. This isn't just ego. The next week the petty parade starts. Grass height violation, my lawn is 0.3 of an inch over. Meanwhile the house across the street is auditioning to be a prairie, and somehow they're fine. Then a parking violation. My bumper allegedly crosses a property line by 6 inches, which it doesn't. I measured twice. Then an unauthorized decorative item citation for wind chimes that at least 3 other homes have. By Thursday, I get a noise citation for excessive mail delivery sounds, which is so absurd I nearly frame it. You ever get gaslit in writing? It's a wild ride. Then the emergency meeting. Daphne sets up charts, graphs, a whole Broadway revival. About my $525 in fines in 1 week. And the way she says, money, you'd think I'm laundering gold in my bathtub. I don't take the bait. I sit, I listen, I write. People start shifting in there. Chairs, something smells off. And a few days later, the mask slips. I'm leaving the office late Sunday when Daphne pulls up with a trunk full of party supplies, sees me, panics, slams the trunk like she's hiding stolen jewels, grabs what she can and rushes inside. That's a tell. Presidents don't sneak. I start documenting like it's my day job, because once upon a time, it was. Discrete photos of cash exchanges, lists of events happening 2 or 3 times a weekend, $200 to $500 a pop. I cross-check the public tax records, no reported side income. I check HOA books, no rental revenue. No facility usage line item, nothing. Meanwhile, cleaning fees keep ballooning, supplies keep disappearing, residents keep complaining about parking and noise, and fees keep going up to cover enhanced maintenance. You feel that sting in your gut when you know you're paying for the privilege of being robbed? Then I find a quiet ally, Tom, the old treasurer who got edged out when he asked too many questions. Over coffee, he tells me the story you can guess. Raised concerns, got labeled disruptive, replaced by someone cooperative. He suspected private rentals, but never got access. Every gate, keys, calendars, narrative ran through Daphne. You know that moment where you ask yourself if you really want to jump into the mess, or keep your peace and pretend you never saw the smoke? I sat in my car and had that talk with myself. Then I remembered why I can't look away when people abuse a title to fleece their neighbors. So I plan a reveal in daylight. Not lawyers in closed rooms, not whispers, not rumor. A special meeting, publicly noticed, single agenda, transparency, and building use. If Daphne refuses, she looks guilty. If she agrees, she walks into the lights. She agrees. The room fills beyond capacity, standing in the doorway, faces pressed to the glass, a hum in the air like a storm about to break. Daphne starts, polished and righteous, painting me as a wealthy bully who thinks rules are for other people. I thank everyone for coming, keep my voice low, then connect my laptop. The projector blinks on. Roll tape. There's Daphne, crystal clear, taking cash for strategy sessions, trainings, baby showers, counting out change with HOA tables and chairs in the background. The room goes pin drop. Quiet except for a few shocked laughs that sound like choke coughs. She shouts that the video's fabricated, that I'm stalking her, that this is all a smear by a man who thinks he's above standards. I don't argue. I click to the ledger, a timeline of 40-plus rentals, 6 months, north of $40,000 unreported. Cleaning charges up 12 grand, supplies misused, visitors clogging spaces. Now the murmurs turn to anger. We've been paying for other people's parties, someone yells. Is that why fees doubled? Another says. Then Daphne makes her fatal move. She stabs a finger at me. Who do you think you are? She screams. The room sucks in air like one body. I let the silence grow and let the hand holding that question hang there. Great question, I say. Name's Caleb Mercer. Before I retired 3 years ago, I served as police chief here for 23 years. My specialty? Financial crimes, public corruption, municipal fraud. Exactly what we've documented tonight. The room detonates, gasps, whispers, somebody near the back. She called the cops on a cop. Daphne's face goes white, then red, then something between. She tries the greatest hits, entrapment, setup, bargaining, I'll pay it back, then cracks and starts admitting. Rentals, cash, misuse, harassment. It spills out fast, like truth's been rattling the door for months and finally kicked it open. The aftermath is what you'd expect if you've ever seen a dam break. Emergency audit, forensic accountant, numbers worse than anyone wanted. Over $40,000 of hidden income in 6 months, more than $15,000 in HOA funds diverted, selective rule enforcement weaponized for profit. Taxes come calling, restitution ordered, penalties stack like books. Daphne sells her house within 2 months. Takes community service, 2 years probation, barred from HOA leadership statewide. It's not triumphant, it's appropriate. Sometimes justice sounds like paperwork turning. What changed at Lake Ranch is the part one actually loved telling. New board, sunlight everywhere. Monthly open budget nights. Real-time expense dashboards. Clear conflict of interest policies. Fair rules enforced the same way for everyone. The temperature drops a solid 20 degrees across the whole neighborhood. People talk again. Kids ride bikes without parents side-eyeing each other. Property values stop sulking and start climbing. The woman who watched that first police scene from her window catches me at the mailboxes and says, "I misjudged you. You weren't causing drama. You were stopping it." I tell her the truth. It was never me versus Daphne. It was us versus secrecy. Here's the part folks forget. Abuse of small power isn't rare. It's patient. It hides in closed budgets, and we've always done it this way. In selective enforcement and titles tossed around like body armor. The defense isn't outrage, it's attention. Stay calm when they try to drag you into a shouting match. Document everything. Learn the rules better than the people misusing them, and put the truth under bright lights. Evidence beats bluster every day of the week. 3 months later, I'm back in that same office on a quiet Saturday, coffee warm in my hand, sun angling through clean windows, calendar on the wall, everyone can see. If this were a movie, the camera would pull back through the doorway, out across the lot, over the lake, showing a neighborhood that finally exhaled. And maybe, on the far edge of the frame, a car no one recognizes slowing by the sign, someone watching, someone thinking a title still means untouchable. Roll credits, or maybe don't. Maybe we leave the last shot open, a question hanging like a porch light left on too late. So tell me, was I right to make it public, to put the evidence in the room where it could be seen, or should I have handled it quietly behind doors and lawyers? Where's the line between protecting peace and inviting a storm to clear the air? Drop your take below, share your own HOA or small-town power story, and weigh in on what real accountability should look like, because somewhere out there, another Daphne is counting on people not paying attention. You know what I mean?